Welcome to the show, guys. This is where we talk about 3 finance stories that you missed today or yesterday, depending on when you're watching this, April 28th. So we're going to jump right into a news story that's about the Fed. I know it's a boring subject, but then we're going to talk about Apple and how they blew earnings out of the water. When I say blew it, I mean like, wow, holy shit. Okay. And then we're going to talk about mortgage applications and how all of a sudden they're dropping. But it's not really unexpected, if that makes sense. All right, so let's go right on in. And we'll start off with the Fed Reserve. So today they did announce that they're not going to be changing anything. They're going to keep interest rates near zero. That's good-ish. You know, depending on how the economy is doing, especially if it starts decreasing again, there's really not much they can do. But, you know, keeping it towards zero is okay. Nothing wrong with that. $120 billion of bonds each month that they're buying. Still, again, that's good. Nothing wrong with that. Let's keep going down. There is some interesting information at the bottom. As always, it seems like they hide some of this stuff. Consumer prices increasing 2.6%, the fastest year-over-year increase since August 2018. Now, and here it is. Here's the line I wanted to get to. Markets currently are pricing in a 5-year inflation rate around 2.5%. A year ago, the level was less than 0.8%. Why is this? Well, it's really simple, guys. Let's say I have a gallon of milk. And that milk today costs $1. And then later today, I decide, you know what? I'm going to print $100 and I'm going to give it to everybody. Well, I can now sell my milk for $1 and, you know, hey, you got $100 for free. I want 10 cents for that. So it's $1.10. That is inflation. Prices are going to keep increasing as long as we're printing money and giving it to people for nothing. So that is why you're seeing prices skyrocket everywhere. And it's only going to get worse as time goes on. Okay, you see trillions of dollars being pumped in. You're going to see inflation keep going up. And I'm surprised 2.5% is all that we're seeing. But we'll leave it at that, all right? So let's move on. Let's go to Apple. Personally, Apple blew it out of the water. I mean, look, 54% higher. 54% higher than last quarter's sales. That is huge, okay? Gross margin, 42.5% versus 39% estimated, okay? 42% highest margins they've reported, I believe they said in 8 years, okay? Revenue, $89.58 billion, that's huge. On top of that, I believe that see, everything they're doing is pointing towards a stock that's just going to run away. Let me get rid of that ad. They're going to increase their dividend by 7%. They're going to buy $90 billion in share buybacks. That's huge as well. You know, these guys are just kicking it out of the park. I mean, you can't make this up. 53% higher. iPhone revenue, $47.9 billion. It's up 65% year over year. 65%. And iPhone makes up the majority of their revenue. So that is huge. But I also want to point out some other things, right? Look at Mac revenue and iPad. They're both also in that 70% year-over-year growth. And that's just great. You know, I love seeing these numbers grow. The Mac revenue, the iPad revenue, that's what you want to see. But, you know, this is the golden number right here, 42.5%. You can't make that up. That is just incredible. I do believe that the overall Mac or Apple, stock is going to skyrocket. I'm pulling up a chart right here because I want to show you guys what it's doing after hours. Let's zoom in. Look at that. Look at that. 4 o'clock hits, $33.58. Earnings comes out, pops 3.8, almost 4%. Goes up, up, up. This is what happens when you have a company that is just blowing it out of the water. Dividend, yield. That's great. And their market cap, $2.24 trillion. That's a lot of money, guys. You can't make this up. Now let's go into a different topic because I don't want to spend too much time on Apple because I could talk about them for, I'm scared to say it, probably an hour just on Apple. Now, mortgages. We've all heard about houses selling crazy fast, but there's sort of an issue. All right, and this is going to play, of course. I'm sure of it. Hopefully I've got this muted. Okay. So houses are selling crazy pace. We've heard the stories of how houses are getting 20, 30, 40 different bids on them. It's insane. And part of that is because of how few houses are on the market, which we can get into that later on and why that is. But it's also because the mortgage rate is 3.17%, I think. Yeah, 3.17%. You can't beat that number, especially when the mortgages are typically around 5%, 4% the last few decades. But why is it dipping, right? So new mortgage applications are dipping. Even refinances are decreasing. When we look at this, look at the median sales price of new houses sold. March 2021, $330,800. The average sales price, right? This is used as well. $397,800, up from an average of $346,400. This leads you to believe that there are people in the market searching, but they may be getting priced out of the market. So they're not able to find those houses. And to be honest, $397,800 is quite a bit of money. Not a lot of people are spending that. New home buyers are definitely not spending that. And I think you saw the majority of people that had the finances to flee New York City. They got out of the big cities when the pandemic first happened. That first 6, 7, 8 months of the pandemic, really they said, we're out, dipping, find me a house, buy it. Now you're not seeing that as much. And in fact, you're starting to see some people go back to those big cities. Whether they sell those houses, I don't know. The other side of it is you don't have a lot of evictions. In fact, you have close to none. Why is that? Well, that's the eviction moratorium, and it's been extended over and over by Biden and Trump, and I'm sure that it's going to keep going. I can't stress it enough that there has to be an end to it. I understand that people are hurting, but as we start to reopen the country and the world, people have to start paying their bills again, and you have to pay your rent because there's going to be bad things happening when landlords can't pay their bills, and it's not going to be pretty for the overall economy. Anyhow, my name's Corey. This is Money Isn't Hard. The channel is all about money. I just like making videos and talking about finance, but if you like this kind of content, please subscribe, leave a comment on what you want me to talk about. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and please don't take anything I said as financial advice.